Hi guys, it's Katie with String Expert. Oftentimes, beginner violin students like to skip over the process of putting on their shoulder rest and making sure that it's a good fit. Shoulder rest is so important because it is basically the foundation for everything that we do in terms of playing. Now, there are a ton of different shoulder rests on the market, and believe me, I have tried most of them, but there are two brands that I specifically love, and I'm not sponsored by either one of them, but I do think that they're both just really good quality shoulder rests. So you should either buy a Viva brand shoulder rest or a Kuhn brand shoulder rest. There are also different brands of shoulder rests that look similar to the Viva and the Kuhn, but I wouldn't buy them because they're typically poor quality. They typically fall apart after a few months of use, and they don't work as well. So now that you know what kind of shoulder rest, the next step is to really understand and take the time to make sure that you have your shoulder rest adjusted and customized to you. So I have a Viva shoulder rest here today, and the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look and fold out the 2 feet here and here. And the 2 feet should be facing inward like this. And then as you can see, there's some great ways to adjust the shoulder rest. First of all, your feet can move up and down. You can also move these feet inward and outward based on the size and shape of your violin. Most violins are not all made exactly the same. They don't always have exactly the same round shape around here, so you may have to adjust these. So we'll kind of get into how to do that a little bit later. But for now, what you want to do is just sort of open it up and put it in kind of like a neutral spot. Okay, so the concept with the shoulder rest is it gives you an added amount of support in between your neck and the violin, so that when you're playing the violin, you're not doing this, which is what you would be doing without a shoulder rest, which causes a lot of strain on your neck and strain on your shoulder, and it doesn't allow you to move and play. So what a shoulder rest does is it's shaped to fit right on your shoulder, just like this, and give you that added support in between your violin and your shoulder. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put on the shoulder rest. So what you're going to do is turn your violin over, and the low part of your shoulder rest is going to go on the same side as your chin rest. So you're going to go ahead and attach the feet. Then you're going to take on the other side, you're just going to start over here at the far edge and just slide it across until it gets tight. Now, this is what most students do. They put it on and they say, okay, I'm ready to go. But that's just not the case. Now we have to get it into the right spot so that you're able to play freely. So the first thing that we want to think about is making sure it's in the right spot so that we can look directly ahead, and then we want to adjust the height so it fits perfectly underneath our chin without us having to go like this with our chin. And we also want to avoid doing this where our head kind of goes forward and slump down, because then we're going to have tension back here. So you should be able to stand perfectly straight like you do in an average normal day, and the violin should just fit underneath your chin. So that's what we're aiming for. The other thing that we want to avoid is this. A lot of students come back like this. This is just not a good position. So we want to make sure that it's sort of at an angle like this. Not too far this way, so we're not doing this. Not too far this way, just a slight angle sort of going that direction. Now, then what you're going to do is just kind of adjust your feet until it gets to the spot where you feel comfortable. Once you do this, you should be able to easily hold your violin with your chin, easily play with your arm and your hand, being able to move as easily as you want to without any problems. It should also be extremely comfortable. You don't want to have your chin rest feel uncomfortable, because it's going to be there for hours and hours at a time, and so we really want to make sure that we're comfortable. You may also need to adjust the height of the shoulder rest. And if you have an extremely long neck, you can actually get feet with longer screws so that you can adjust the height even more. Some people might have a narrow neck, so you might have to adjust the screws down as well. So spend some time in the mirror just kind of playing around with that and adjusting it until it feels comfortable, it looks good, and it's in the right spot. Once you get to that point, then what you're going to do is you're going to put stickers on your violin. And so I put stickers on mine. So you have 2 on this side, and then every time I put my violin feet on, I just simply attach it right here, and then I slide it over here. Now on this side, what I did was I added an extra sticker here because we want to make sure that we put it on correctly. So one side is lower than the other side, so it fits the natural curvature of your shoulder. And so then what I did was I went ahead and I marked the one side with a 3rd dot. So you have 1, 2, 3, and then a 3rd dot on the shoulder rest. So then when I go to put it back on, it takes away all the time and all the guesswork in terms of trying to make sure that your shoulder rest fits correctly. So that is how you properly put on a violin shoulder rest. If you want, check out my Instagram page or my Snapchat, or check out my website, www.stringexpert.com. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.